Did you have to put the text in front of Steven Spielberg's name? Why not just do what you did before? Or put it above the title? It already says in roughly 8 minutes before the title even shows up. And on top of that, you couldn't even figure out how to freeze the image yet. At least we get to look at this kid preparing to throw a snowball for 3 frames.
All you do is, you take your toothbrush out.
Is he seriously trying to convince this mystical Chinese artifact store to stock his bathroom travel caddy?
Randall probably wasn't able to sell the bathroom buddy to anyone else, so he might as well try the mystical Chinese artifact store while he's there. He's desperate is what I'm saying.
Look, I've got to have him. It's a present for my son for Christmas. It's exactly what I've been looking for, and I've been everywhere.
You've been looking for a furry, singing, tiny creature, and you looked everywhere else first before the mystical Chinese artifact store?
No, Randall was being figurative. What he meant was that he was looking for the perfect gift.
With Mogwai comes much responsibility.
And with great responsibility comes great... Ah, damn it.
Pointless reference.
There's 3 rules you've got to follow. Keep him out of the light, and keep him away from water.
Mogwais have almost the same rule as the Nazgul.
Pointless reference.
No matter how much he cries, no matter how much he begs.
If only the kid had also included the consequences of ignoring the rules along with the rules themselves.
The kid was never told the consequences either, just the rules. Since he doesn't know what the stakes are, he's willing to trust a total stranger to follow the rules. Thank you, Count Artha.
Kingston Falls, USA!
Looks more like Hill Valley to me.
That's because they were filmed on the same set. So now you're just sitting trivia.
Steven Spielberg presents Christmas. Hey look, they're still playing E.T. in Close Encounters of the Third Kind at this theater.
Why is this a sin? It's just a harmless Easter egg.
What kind of a sick, f***ed-up optometrist uses optical illusion font on their main sign? He's just f***ing with blind people here, really.
Okay, that one actually got me to laugh.
Burger King next to an animal clinic. See, this is how rumors get started. Phoebe Cates isn't moving in stereo in this scene.
A pointless reference.
Cross your teeth.
I realize this guy's a goofball, but how does an adult person forget to cross the T in their own signature?
I mean, I'm 18 and I still can't write in cursive properly.
The bank and I have the same purpose in life.
What movie am I watching? For a minute there, it was It's a Wonderful Life. Now it's The Wizard of Oz.
Your dog broke it this morning.
Wow, early CinemaSins had a lot more references than they do now.
Why does this bar serve beer by pouring the bottle into a giant glass coffee mug that's 2 times too big?
Bars in the 80s used to have bigger glasses. That or they're out of the size glass you're expecting.
Judge Reinhold's roles in the 80s consisted of fantasizing about Phoebe Cates and enabling Axel Foley's illegal Beverly Hills investigations.
Stop.
Holy sh**, now I'm literally watching It's a Wonderful Life.
Pointing things out on the screen.
You said it won't wait till Christmas, so we better open it now, but it was fine being in this container and inside wrapping paper for however long it took you to drive from New York City to Kingston Falls.
Well, yeah, the box isn't a hazard to Gizmo's health. It's just to keep him away from sunlight.
Whoa, Gizmo. Don't do that in Billy's room.
Lame masturbation jokes that I didn't get as a kid.
Corey Feldman is addicted to gizmos.
He didn't see him there, so you can't really blame him.
The fact that I don't have one of these tiny Donkey Kong arcade games to play with right now.
Jeremy sins a movie because he can't have something that's in the movie.
How did these assholes do this? I mean, yeah, when they turned into Gremlins later, that would make more sense, but while they're still in their cuteness stage and really small? And Barney didn't make a peep when 5 little evil Mogwais picked him up and took him down the stairs and started stringing Christmas lights around him?
Well, there are 5 of them, making it easier to lift heavy things. And it's not that hard to silence a dog.
God, say you hate Washington's birthday or Thanksgiving and nobody cares, but say you hate Christmas and everybody makes you feel like you're a leper.
Well, Thanksgiving doesn't have presents.
That's kinda her point.
It's not 12 o'clock yet.
Oh, since when do you care about the rules all of a sudden?
The only rule he's broken so far is the water rule. Every other rule he's taken the precautions to follow. Notice how the lights in this room are dimmed. Why would Roy leave his sandwich right next to the Mogwai's cage? Even if he didn't know about the after midnight rule for some reason, who leaves their barely eaten sandwich in a bag that's open in a lab overnight?
The school needs to seriously consider checking its air conditioning ducts. What the hell are these kids breathing in addition to asbestos? Also, the gremlin went through the air conditioning duct that leads to a cabinet?
No, the gremlin went through a duct somewhere else in the room and then went into the cabinet.
Gremlins have the ability to shrink at a moment's notice.
I'm pretty sure a gremlin can fit through that.
Oh, wow. You mean one of the Peltzer inventions finally worked?
A blender is easier to make than other devices.
Where was this asshole during the blender sequence?
He was distracted while eating something.
Who keeps flea and tick killing spray on the kitchen counter next to the oven?
Somebody who's paranoid about bugs.
Wouldn't stepping in the snow get Stripe wet and make him have babies? Well, that sounded really dirty.
Maybe the snow is so cold that it's dry. Yes, that is a thing.
Wait, Stripe locked the door behind him?
No, the door was already locked. Stripe broke through the glass.
Why did Billy take Gizmo with him? He could have been turning on bright lights everywhere and killed Stripe with the flip of a switch.
He brought Gizmo with him so that he wouldn't get into any trouble. And he's looking for a switch right now. He just has to turn on the power first. Also, the only light that kills gremlins is sunlight. So he cannot kill Stripe with the flip of a switch.
Stripe violates the clear no smoking rule as posted by the YMCA.
Explaining jokes.
I told you we should have got a Zenith.
This guy who hates foreign products sure does own a lot of foreign products.
If by a lot you mean one. Also, Mrs. Futterman chose to buy this, not Murray.
They're just going la la la. I mean, if you're smart enough to take your imitation of carolers to the level of hats and earmuffs and sheet music, why not sing a real carol while you're at it?
They're not just going la la la. They're singing the Gremlins theme.
What's that? Kenny, what's that back there? Some of Rockin' Ricky fan? Hey, you're not Rockin' Ricky fan?
How do you know, Rockin' Ricky? These gremlins seem to know and enjoy everything as soon as they're born.
He meant that they're not the type of fans he usually sees.
I don't know how long these guys have been at this bar, but why the f*** is she still serving them? Why did she even start serving tiny green demon monsters in the first place?
Jeremy, if you were a bartender and an army of creatures with sharp teeth and claws burst into the bar demanding to be served, would you really just try to say no? Thank you, Count Arthur. If the gremlins are frightened by the lighter, how come multiple gremlins in this scene have lit cigarettes?
And instead, they pulled out my father. He was dressed in a Santa Claus suit. He'd been climbing down the chimney.
Holy shit, your dad actually tried to go down the chimney? How big was the opening to this thing? And Christmas didn't kill your father, Kate. Stupid did.
Kate doesn't blame Christmas for her father's death. She just doesn't like it because it reminds her of his death.
He slipped and broke his neck.
If he slipped and broke his neck, why didn't he fall to the bottom? I mean, this chimney's apparently big enough for a grown man in a Santa suit with a whole bunch of Christmas gifts.
His body was wedged in, like this.
And that's how I found out there was no Santa Claus.
You were 9 years old. You still believed in Santa?
I believed in Santa till I was 12.
Barney.
Damn, Randall left Barney out in the car in the freezing cold? Why is Barney even along on this trip anyway? Wasn't Randall just at an inventors convention?
Randall brought Barney so that Mrs. Deagle couldn't harm him.
She's been threatening him for weeks. You know she'd love to get her hands on him.
I know, honey, but we don't have any proof. We can't even find any footprints leading up to the house.
Billy, I'm gonna take Barney to your grandmother's. No, I'm taking him there on the way to the convention. Christmas Eve, I'll pick him up on the way home. He'll be here for Christmas. It's gonna be all right.
Wait, did Spielberg not want to make some cheeky reference to his other movies in the marquee this time? How about you, Joe Dante? No Piranha or Howling? And since when is Snow White a Christmas movie anyway?
It would feel less subtle if we actually saw the film, like what happens in this scene.
They're inside.
All of them?
So yeah, let's go inside and take a look. I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
They're there to blow up the building. They have to make sure that they're distracted by stud silver and the 7 microfigures before they can do anything.
Whatever that was he just wrenched, he tightened it, not loosened.
Propane tanks are threaded backwards so that no one can use the wrong fittings. Thank you, Count Arthur.
Try and find some kind of light switch.
Yeah, they're usually next to doors or entrances of some sort.
She has to find the circuit breaker first.
Also, about time.
He did this at the YMCA.
Now she has 2 reasons to hate Christmas forever.
So apparently one of the biggest Gremlins fans out there, Black Nerd Comedy, aka Andre Meadows, watched this video and loved it. Now what does that have anything to do with anything? I don't know, but I also don't know how anything Jeremy just said is relevant.
At what temperature do Mogwais have a fever?
Why does it matter?
Perhaps someday you may be ready.
What tells Mr. Wing that someone is ready for the responsibility of a Mogwai? Do you have to go to school? Show a certificate of some sort?
Age, maturity, and experience.
Well, that's the story.
So Randall has apparently been telling this story the whole time? But how does he know about the cops who crashed and Mrs. Deagle's death and all that other stuff he wasn't around for?
He was told about those events after he got home.